Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm making this video to ask a question, and I want to point out a serious contradiction from the JoS Satan Ministries, and when it comes to their quote unquote satanic truth. But anyways, though, it starts with a guy named Neptunian Mermaid, well, Indigo Nation, aka Neptunian Mermaid. And he has a video called The JoS Satan Truth. And I'll post a link to this video if anybody wants to check it out. And no, I'm not supporting this video because I totally disagree with this guy. I think this guy is an idiot myself. But anyways, though, I want to... but this ain't the reason why I'm touching on this subject. The reason why I'm touching on this is because of what HP Hooded Cobra said about Neptunian Mermaid. And I remember watching a few of Neptunian Mermaid's videos a long while back when I was pretty involved in spiritual Satanism, pretty involved with the JoS's version of spiritual Satanism, and with their e-groups. And a few of his videos, including his video about drugs, helped me out. It helped me through some hard times in my life. But anyways, though, this is what Hooded Cobra said about Neptunian Mermaid. He said, once a week autistic retard, always one. Thanks for the free advertising and Happy New Year. After all, your mental issues that are quite evident are, of course, always caused by others. It's not like you were always mentally sick. And I also want to point out what HP Hooded Cobra said about here's another somebody. And I'll post a link to this topic from their e-groups onto my video description. But somebody wrote a topic in the e-groups that said Indigo Nation, aka Neptunian Mermaid, goes traitor. And this is what Hooded Cobra said about autistic people. Anyways, he said, I think this guy was autistic. Funny how they always blame the aliens like the aliens would be interested in attacking autistic individuals, who are the enemies to Satan to begin with. Added to autism that many people cannot cope with, what danger do they really pose? Like they pose any threat to anyone. My butt's itchy. It's an attack from outer space, I swear. This guy is mentally ill, obviously, and was worshiping Jesus before. Most of these types are also heavy drug users with a bad habit of going back and forth as well. So they see their mother disguised as a monkey attacking them with a dildo. And very mature, by the way, because you would think that a high priest would be a little bit more mature than making such a comment towards human beings with mental disorders, and it's not their fault they were born with these mental problems, these disabilities. It's the aliens that control this planet that have destroyed the human soul to the extent, well, has caused enough damage to the human spirit to where people would have these problems in the first place. So you would think a high priest of Satan would be a little bit more understanding than that, and therefore would have no need to insult autistic people when it's not even, they're victimized. Why would you insult the victim? But anyways, though, and somehow anyway, back to what he's saying. He said, so they see their mother disguised as a monkey attacking them with a dildo, and somehow that's a supposed alien attack. Many of these types are also to go straight into the asylum as well. Not in any way wrong patients, people with simple or surmountable issues, or just people who are wrongly taken in mental institutions and were damaged later, or were misdiagnosed. But pure batshit autistic meth heads with a hatred for all people that advance and become better, spewing pink poison from my pony. And when I made that dedication to Satan, I was never really jealous of anybody. I was a member of their e-groups for 5 years. Well, 6 years at the most, answering questions and doing my best to help people become better. And I was putting in my 2 cents. I was putting in my work, and every day I would write www.exposingchristianity or www.joysatan on the back of dollar bills, and I even bought markers, and I used to write these links all over walls in like public bathrooms. When I would stop at the gas station and fill up my car with gas, I would go into the bathrooms and write the link on the wall, and I was putting in work. It's not like I was I had any hatred or jealousy towards fellow Gentiles. I didn't. And I was getting to that point where I was where I could have rewired my brain into just giving up jealousy, period. Like, let's say I got a girlfriend and she wanted to sleep with a guy that she thought was cute. I would have just let her sleep with him. Hell, I would even went as far to ask her if she wanted to share, and there would be no jealousy involved there. So, you know, High Priest of the Cobra, and I don't even like calling him High Priest because I really don't think he deserves such a title. But I don't think you know, I would have had jealousy overcame a long time ago if it wasn't for this spirit attachment, you know, and these angels stopped me. But anyways, though, I want to touch on the fact that when I first made that dedication to spiritual Satanism and the Joy of Satan's way, because that's how I got involved with spiritual Satanism in the first place, through the Joy of Satan. And they told me at first that Satan accepts you for the way you are. He won't turn it, and if you, one, he accepts you for the way you are, and two, if you can't handle a problem on your own, the gods and goddesses of Duat will take care of it for you. So this points to the fact is Neptunian Mermaid. He obviously according to High Priest Hooded Cobra, autistic people are the enemies of Satan. And I'll repeat this little quote by Hooded Cobra right now. Anyways, this is what Hooded Cobra said. I think this guy was autistic. Funny how they always blame aliens, like the aliens would be interested in attacking autistic individuals, who are the enemies of Satan to begin with. So, you know, that's what he said. Why? My question, my really big question is, why does Satan hate autistic people? Why are autistic people the enemies of Satan? And I think that question should arise on anybody's minds. Any free thinker should be able to put one and two together and sense that there's something not quite right about this statement. And if Satan does truly accept you for who you are, then he would accept autistic people as well. He just wouldn't throw these people away like they were usable tools. And it's kind of seemed like, you know, and like HB Hooded Cobra said, thanks for the free advertisement. Like the gods and goddesses of Duat just used Neptunian Mermaid for a tool, and then since he was autistic, oh, we have no use for him, and then just threw him away, just like that. And like, you know, if the gods and goddesses of Duat were truly righteous, they were truly just, they would cure his autism or find a way to help him. As the Joy of Satan says, if you can't handle a problem on your own, the gods and goddesses of Duat will do it for you. So why didn't they take care of this man? He was autistic. Why didn't they at least cure his autism? As far as I'm concerned, he has Asperger's. So, you know, and Asperger's is, pretty curable. So, I mean, I guess you'd have a bunch of JoS kids saying to me right now, well, then why didn't, well, he could have cured it himself. Like, but, according to, but that leads out the question, though. People with Asperger's, and Asperger's is a spectrum in autism. Like it's a form of autism. I think the last time I checked, there's a lot of, somebody told me 250 different forms of autism, and maybe that's, I'll look it up here in a bit. I should have probably looked that up before I made this video. But Asperger's is such one form, and it is on high functioning. You got low functioning autism, and then you got high functioning. Asperger's is part of high functioning autism. And so, according to High Priest Hooded Cobra, people that have Asperger's, like myself, are the enemies of Satan to begin with. And I don't see how that's the case. And if anybody is listening to this video right now, I would really like, if you know something that I don't, you guys are free to post in the comments and correct me on this. I mean, tell me a reason why. But anyways, though, I just wanted to point out that contradiction, you know, like Satan obviously doesn't accept you for who you are. If you're a Gentile with autism, he shuns you, he turns his back on you. So I just wanted to point that out. And there's another point I was gonna make too. What was it? Oh yeah, right. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people with high functioning autism have there's there's some that are known to have natural psychic gifts, and then some who are mathematical geniuses. Like they say Isaac Newton was linked to high functioning autism, Asperger's. They say that Albert Einstein, and yeah, he was a Jew, and Jews are the enemies of Satan, but they also linked him to Asperger's as well, high functioning autism. But no denying that this man was a genius. I mean, you know, Jews go hand to hand with a high intellect, but I'm just pointing out the facts that, you know, a lot of geniuses are linked to high functioning autism, and you get in touch with that higher intellect. It's like the movie Rain Man, where Rain Man was able to calculate very large numbers. Rain Man, the movie Rain Man with Tom Cruise, he was able to calculate very large numbers in his head without the use of a calculator. And there was another man, Gentile, that was, and this is a real guy, by the way, and I'll post a video of him in the video description, a link to a video of him in the video description that shows that they flew this man with high functioning autism, over New York City and Los Angeles, and he was able to draw these two entire cities with every little detail, not missing one little detail, and he drew them all from memory. He drew the entire city with every little detail off of memory alone. So, to say that autistic people aren't really a threat to anybody is kind of dumb. I mean, what if there's an autistic person out there that was able to get in touch with that psychic side of life, and they were able to make incredible things happen, like moving objects with their mind. I mean, if you ask me, Carrie, like the movie Carrie, I mean, Carrie got picked on at school a lot. She didn't fit in. And if you were to ask me, I mean, this girl had high functioning autism. She was strange. She made situations very awkward. I mean, if anything, she was labeled a retard to everybody around her. So, but she was very dangerous. She was a natural telekinetic. I mean, she pretty much killed her entire school. But so, you know, I would think that people that do have amazing psychic ability, they would be or let alone people that can see a deeper truth to reality, because they say there's a fine line between genius and crazy, and there's a reason why they label scientists, you know, as sometimes mad, because, you know, the deeper you find out, the more secrets you find out about the universe, the crazier you get to quote unquote normal people. And so, you know, one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of these people are linked to having Asperger's or being awkward and strange, and you know, and people with Asperger's have a hard time with, I mean, they're good at everything, but they suck with people skills, and they can't carry a conversation without making it awkward and weird, you know, for people to be around them. But anyways, I'm one of those such people. But I just wanted to point out this fact, you know, that why does Satan hate autistic people, like H.P. Hood of Cobra claimed, and two, why doesn't he isn't that a contradiction to him accepting Gentiles for the way they are? And three, why doesn't he fix the problem if they can't fix the problem themselves? I mean, he does have that power. Other people, like you know, before the spirit got as much power over me, and I know other people with this power as well, Native American medicine men, but they don't have high functioning autism or anything like that. And I'm definitely not saying that you need to have high functioning autism to have really awesome psychic abilities. Hell, I mean, there's people out there that function normally and are fine around other people. And, I mean, you could still have these abilities. I mean, but my point is, like, these people that I know, like Native American medicine men, they can take the cancer. Like, if somebody has cancer, they could literally take this cancer out of the person, eliminate it. And I was reading a book by Franz Bardon, Initiation into the Hermetics, where Franz Bardon even talks about these abilities, that he can cure people with he can cure people's diseases, that like non-curable diseases and other problems that are non-curable to science. He said that he can easily, I mean, there is those with magic, including him, that can easily cure these problems. I could have done these. I could have done this once upon a time ago. Hell, I even cured my autism more than a few times. But these angels, they brought it back through this thought form. And like I said in my other videos, I removed this thought form more than a couple times. But these angels, they put it back on me by force. But so, and then even threatened to kill me if I took it off again. So, you know. But anyways, though, my point is that Franz Bardon, he said that the reason why people don't cure cancer or cure these diseases within people and all that is because they have rules to follow on this planet. This planet is controlled by the IGF, Intergalactic Federation. Anybody that dares display their powers or cure other people and all that, they'll be punished by the IGF. So, you know, I'm just pointing out the fact that the human beings have this power. The gods can easily handle, as the JoS says, the gods can easily, if you can't handle something on your own, they'll do it for you, and they could easily cure this man's autism. So why hate autistic people in the first place? Why are autistic people enemies of Satan to begin with? Like H.P. Huda Cobra said, and if they can't handle who they are because of their autism, why doesn't Satan and his demons handle that problem for them? Like the JoS says that they will do if you can't handle a problem on your own. I just wanted to point out these contradictions, and that's it. Anyways, peace.